October 1813. Europe is burning under the weight of war. For over a decade, one man has reshaped the continent, toppling monarchies, redrawing borders, and defeating every army sent against him. His name is Napoleon Bonaparte, a military genius, a conqueror, a symbol of unstoppable power. But now, for the first time in years, that power is beginning to crack. The disaster in Russia has changed everything. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers lost to cold, hunger, and relentless attacks. What was once the greatest army is now a shadow of itself. And across the continent, his enemies see their chance. One by one, nations rise against him. Russia, Prussia, Austria, Sweden, former enemies, now united by a single purpose: destroy Napoleon. This alliance becomes one of the most powerful coalitions Europe has ever seen. And as their armies begin to move, a storm is gathering. Napoleon knows what is coming. He works relentlessly to rebuild his forces. Young recruits fill the ranks. Boys who have never seen real combat now wear the uniform of war. They are not ready, but they will have to be, because the enemy is already marching, hundreds of thousands advancing from every direction. Their destination? Leipzig, a strategic city in the heart of Germany. Control Leipzig, and you control the center of Europe. Napoleon gathers approximately 190,000 troops. Across from him, the coalition assembles more than 300,000 men, with even more on the way. For the first time in his career, Napoleon faces an enemy that outnumbers him on such a massive scale. He is fighting a continent. October 16, 1813. The battle begins. The silence of dawn is shattered by the thunder of artillery. Cannons roar across the fields. Smoke rises into the sky, turning day into darkness. The ground trembles as thousands move into position. Napoleon takes the initiative. He knows he cannot survive a prolonged siege. He must strike hard and strike first. French forces surge forward. Infantry advances under heavy fire. Cavalry charges with devastating force. Napoleon's veterans push deep into enemy lines. For a moment, it looks like history might repeat itself. Another brilliant victory. But this time, the enemy does not break. The coalition holds its ground. Wave after wave of attacks crashes into their lines. The battle rages for hours. Thousands fall. As the sun begins to set, neither side has achieved a decisive victory. October 17th. A day of uneasy silence. The battlefield is filled with the wounded. Fires burn. Smoke lingers. But while Napoleon waits, the coalition grows stronger. Reinforcements arrive in massive numbers. Fresh troops, new artillery. The noose begins to tighten. Napoleon can see it. He knows time is slipping away. He is being surrounded, slowly, but inevitably. October 18th. The decisive moment. At dawn, the largest coordinated assault of the battle begins from every direction at once. The French army is pushed to its limits. Napoleon moves across the battlefield, directing troops, trying to hold the collapsing front together. In the middle of the chaos, something unthinkable happens. German troops fighting under Napoleon suddenly turn and join the coalition forces. Confusion spreads instantly. Lines collapse. What was already a desperate situation becomes catastrophic. Napoleon's army begins to crumble. October 19th. Napoleon gives the order to retreat. The army withdraws through Leipzig, but the escape is fragile and time is running out. A single bridge stands between the French army and total destruction. Thousands of soldiers rush toward it. Artillery, cavalry, infantry. Then, disaster strikes. The bridge is destroyed too soon. A massive explosion tears through the structure. In an instant, the escape route is gone. Thousands of French soldiers are trapped on the wrong side. Panic spreads like wildfire. The retreat turns into chaos. The army disintegrates. What remains of Napoleon's forces barely escapes. The rest is lost. The Battle of Leipzig is over. And with it, the illusion of Napoleon's invincibility. The cost is staggering. Leipzig changes everything. Napoleon is forced to retreat to France. His empire begins to collapse. Allies abandon him. Enemies close in. Within months, the inevitable happens. Napoleon is forced to abdicate. The man who stood at the height of power now falls from it. The Battle of Nations was the turning point. The moment when the tide of history shifted. Napoleon's legend would live on, but his empire would not.